What's up, nerds? How's it going? Welcome back to another video on the channel. This time we're playing. Let me just adjust the mic a little bit more. This time we're playing Sultai Lier back to standard, so no nerf Chariot. We're playing with the OG, and this is a deck that Sam Rolfe invented, one of my teammates, right before Innistrad Set Championship, as a foil towards, well, towards beating turns, essentially, because all we focused on in our standard testing back then was to beat Izzet turns, because we thought this would be like 40-50% of the metagame, which turned out to be. And the reason for this splashing of green into the Dimir archetype was that Sam wanted more of a clock, more of a quicker way to kill the Izzet turns player. And Izzet turns has very good answers like Fading Hope, Cinder Glass Man, so on. Lots of good removal. But Chariot and Briarbridge Tracker both are pretty good against, like, well, you can answer them somehow, some way, but they usually like either leave a clue behind. Chariot makes three different permanents, so they're difficult to answer essentially. And they're also not that bad on defense if you're playing against an aggressive deck. So it made sense, and this was a deck that we tried. In the end, we didn't play this deck. I think the reason being that we moved on from it a little bit. Like, we had our group of Izzet turns players that were just set on Izzet turns, that had a great list, and that outperformed their team. Like, they had like more than 70% win rate in the tournament. Did really, really well, especially crushing the mirror match. I should have played Izzet turns myself. I decided to play mono green like many others on our team, trying to beat the turns players. And then we kind of forgot a little bit about this archetype. Sam ended up playing Lier himself. Reason being, I think what you're definitely dropping when you're playing Tracker and Chariot is you're dropping some of the card advantage, right? Like, you don't have Sorin or Behold the Multiverse. You're a little bit more stale. You have more like permanent types that don't synergize with Lier. You become a little less synergistic, and also you add another color, which is always a cost. It's always a cost to add another color, of course. You don't run Field of Ruin, for example, and Hall of Storm Giants can definitely be a problem in the late game. In the Izzet turns matchup. So Sam ended up playing just straight up Dimir, but I thought, hey, I could still showcase this cool deck. Yeah, essentially Briarbridge Tracker is a nice overall mid-range card that is just so well-rounded and doesn't have a home, unfortunately, in the standard metagame, really. But it's just such a nice card. I really, really think it's a good card. Yeah, being able to be a 4-power creature against this metagame of where everything has like 4 power, like Chariot and Old Growth Troll, and then also having Vigilance, making that Investigate token, being able to attack and defend, and being good against Fading Hope, being good against removal. It's just a nice card, and I don't have to tell you anything about Chariot, of course. Siphon Insight was an idea by Sam back then that sort of helps hitting land drops and helps maybe stealing into action from your Izzet turns opponent. It is a sort of like a 2-for-1 against Izzet turns. It's definitely not a bad card, though you have to be a little bit careful. They have Divide by 0, so they could technically bounce back a spell that you stole with Siphon Insight, so be aware of that. Yeah. Sideboard, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. We have some more counter spells, we have Go Blanks, check for traps, more Siphon Insight for Izzet, for control decks, for Izzet, and then Ray of Enfeeblement and some removal for the aggro decks. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just realizing. Well, I adjusted the list a little bit here and there, and I'm just realizing there's no mascot exhibition, which has to be a mistake. So check for traps, I think, is a cut we can make. We're already playing 4 Duress and 4 Go Blanks, and add that mascot exhibition. All right. Pretend you didn't see that change. All right. Let's jump into the games. What I definitely know is, oh no, I clicked on Crippling Fear. What I definitely know is that I'm gonna have a lot of fun. That is for sure. this type of deck. Yeah, I mean it just screams fun to me, and especially playing these powerful cards. Standard best of 3, please. We're not a best of 1 player. You can go to CGB for that. I think it's this one, pretty sure. Yeah, alright, let's dive in. Yeah, I mean, you just get to slam Chariot and Briarbridge Tracker. I don't know, these cards just make me happy playing them. You don't need to do much. Like, the cards do the work themselves for you. You don't need to do much work else, and you're just slamming these powerful spells. And then and at the top you also have Lier. I was definitely intrigued by the idea of the deck when I first saw it. Although, I mean, I'm always skeptical at the first place, because you really have to convince me to add a color to a deck that is already kind of complete. Like the Lier deck, I have a video with that if you want to check that out. A couple weeks ago I made a video on Lier, and it's just already complete in a sense. So you would, yeah, basically by playing an additional color, in this case you would not really add much to the deck, you would just give it a different touch in a sense. Different array of threats, etc. Okay, looks like we're playing against Izzet. I mean, yeah, I'm very good at yeah, whatever. Okay. Opponent might no first for discovery. Opponent had priority though, so which could tell us that my opponent has Cinderclasm or Galvanic Iteration. Huh. A land? We have 5 lands right now, and we have Divide. Probably take the Divide here. It does seem kind of obvious that my opponent is sitting on a Divide for 0. That is certainly one little weakness of Chariot. It is a 4-drop. It's also a speed, so it's not very good against Divide by 0. Question is, can we just play the draw go game? Or should we just slam? I really don't want to get divided here. It just feels so awful, and my opponent's gonna get teachings. And then maybe next turn we can Chariot. Or we can just pass here, but no, my opponent's just gonna pass back on me. I think I just have to slam. Like, oh wow, it resolves. Okay. Well, yeah, that can happen when you just slam. When in doubt, go for it. You know, you can put your opponent any card in their hand, but that doesn't mean they automatically have it. Okay, my opponent gets rid of the tokens here. Oh, just 1. Hallelujah. Yeah, please. I thought they had Fading Hope. That's okay. Cool. You know, I mean, one downside also of this deck is, compared to like something like Mono Green or Gruul, that you do not have that many creatures to crew your Chariot. So if your opponent kills the cats, you might be stuck with the Chariot sometimes. Yeah. No, but in this case, oh, we can... I think we go for Chariot, though. This adds 6 power onto the board, essentially. This would add 4 power and a second clue, and I don't think I want the clue right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chariot here. Be careful. I want to keep the one that's already in play. Play much of Jwari Disruption. Attack. And next turn we can play, if you draw a land, which would be optimal, we could have Tracker to attack for 10 and then divide by 0 up as well. If we don't draw a land, I gotta see what we will do. What is this? Huh. Oh my god. Fading Hope 3 times. Really? Maybe, yeah. Okay. Well, opponent's throwing a bunch of resources at these chariots. Yeah, I'm happy about that. My opponent's already down to 2 cards in hand. You can also Fading Hope your own chariot, by the way. Definitely neat. I mean, you can Fading Hope any of these creatures. Like Briarbridge Tracker as well. Or the Viper Zero. Because they have enter the battlefield triggers. That might come up. Like, for example, your opponent, you activate Chariot, you attack, your opponent uses a removal, then you Fading Hope your own Chariot, replay it. It's a pretty good play. You can crack 1 clue here. Opponent has the Hall of Storm Giants. Okay. Unfortunately, we do not have a thing to crew the Chariot with, so I'm just gonna do this. And I could have maybe Duress first, right? Like, I could have started the turn with Duress. I think that's... Yeah, that's what I should have done. And I should have maybe played the land too. Okay, yeah, because if I played a land... Ooh, nice, beautiful. Opponent, oops. Interesting. Why didn't they foretell? Because they want to activate Hall of Storm Giants, I guess. Which I think I will respond to with the play I was talking to you about. Basically, my opponent used the entire turn, and yeah, they've got to prevent 4 life, but we're resetting the Chariot here. And one cool thing is we have Mascot Exhibition in the sideboard, so we can make 4/4 elemental tokens with the Chariot. Okay. One has 1 unknown. I don't need more clues. Yeah. Forward kill. Unfortunately, leaves me with not enough mana to keep up the Divide. I could have technically... What I could have done is I maybe should have taken some time to think about this. I could have technically let one of my creatures get blocked and die. Opponent goes to 8 life, and then post combat I can Bloodchief first, pay the 3, and then have 3 mana up, and I have a board of... Well, if my opponent blocks the Briarbridge Tracker, I actually do not have a leaf home. So, yeah, because this is just 6 power without an extra. If my opponent blocks the Chariot, I have 10 power though. I think my play was fine. It's not like the only thing I want to divide, the only thing I really need to divide is Time Walk. And if they have 1 Time Walk, it's not like I'm losing the game. Still cannot copy yet. This was a good turn, I guess. Okay, not enough. Sweet. Sweet. Yeah. Chariot and Tracker getting it done. We had a bunch of dead cards in our hand we want to get rid of. But it was still good enough. Okay. So, we want Go Blank. We want Siphon Insight. We want Test of Talents and Wash Away. And we want Infernal Grasp because Hullbreaker Horror, Lier, Goldspan Dragon, Smoldering Egg. You know, there's always some janky creature on the sideboard. We could consider cutting a Lier. We could for like a Fading Hope or a Soul Shatter to have another removal there. I don't know how many Smoldering Eggs my opponent has. If they have like Smoldering Egg or Jacob Houghton, I like Bloodchief first on a draw. But if I don't know what they have, I don't need that card, or I don't necessarily want that card. Think I go with Fading Hope. No, I'll just go with Social. Social has the more powerful effect. Yeah, alright. Sweet. Good, that was important to win game 1. Game 1 is definitely the tougher of the games, because Izzet turns usually does not have that many sideboard cards that they can bring in against decks like mine. Blue tap land, double consider. Oof, I think I can do better. It's a little low on mana. Oh yeah, this sounds not great. I might just want to keep though. Like if I find one blue source, I'm rolling, and I have double Duress. Nice. Like I could go to 5. My opponent kept a 7. You know, like you're really slimming your chances. Ha! Opponent has a Prismatic Command. The most threatening card is Unexpected Windfall. It's just a card that all of a sudden allows your opponent with Galvanic Iteration to go crazy and to do things much faster than what is fair. Demon Bolt on Foretell. I'll just use Siphon right now. Nice, that's pretty good. That's really good. Yeah, use Siphon right now. My opponent could have Island, Test of Talents or something like that, and that really would destroy my chance of winning. Okay, so my opponent probably has a Time Walk on Suspend. I'd like to take this and this. I want all the lands I can get. I will just take out this Prismatic Command, and next time we play Chariot. And yeah, from there on, we're rolling. Alright. I will put this on black. Play Chariot. Sweet. Then a nice thing is we can crew the Chariot with the Tracker to really attack for 8. Yeah, they're definitely very good friends, the two cards, Chariot and Tracker. Oh, we even have another one. I mean, I technically do not need to put anything on green, like a second land on green. But my black mana is already so good. I'll just put it on green. Maybe I will play, I don't know what, Chariots and a Tracker in one turn later in the game. It could happen. Oh yeah, we know about the Demon Bolt, I guess. I'm happy exiling Galvanic Iteration. That's one of the most powerful cards in these grindy fights. Okay. Got him. Alright, that was smooth. Yeah, exiling Galvanic Iteration basically makes it so that the Izzet deck has to win with one of their creatures. Or like just casting Time Walks fairly, you know, just like casting one Time Walk. That will not defeat my Chariots and my Trackers. So getting rid of the Galvanic really hinders the late game potential. It is maybe the best card in the deck. Like being able to copy all the different advantage spells and then also having flashback is the huge part, right? If it didn't have flashback, I think you can let it go. But the flashback part just means, yeah, just basically you get 2 copies of 2 good spells, and then the more Galvanics you draw, it adds up and it grows, and then it's just too much value to fight. All right, that was a good showing. We Chariot and Tracker. My opponent used a lot of resources in game 1 to get rid of those, and yeah, game 2 kind of went the same way. And we also had double Duress in game 2. Yeah. And against like mono white, I think you're a little worse there because Sedgemoor Witch is so good in creating this wall of blockers and being able to swing the game around quickly. Well, Chariot is fine and Tracker is fine there. They're definitely a little worse than Sedgemoor Witch. Yeah. So that matchup might not be as good as with the blue-black variant. But honestly, I haven't tested a ton with this deck. So perhaps if you want to take it for a spin, you will learn that the mono-white matchup is just alright. I'm really hoping we get paired against Izzet with this hand here. Spikefield Cave is making me happy already. Wondering if I should Duress. The thing is, for tail spells, I would like to take out. Okay. Oh wow. So they got 4 more lands, but all of them are spells. Again, Unexpected Windfall is the issue. Galvanic is good too, but of course it has flashback, so I don't want to discard that. And yeah, discarding any of the land. Oh, actually, I could have discarded Jwari Disruption, huh? So that was a little hasty, huh? Cut them off blue. Maybe that was a play. Not super sure if that was the correct thing to do. Like, I'm pretty happy getting rid of the Windfall, and with the mana they have, they can already cast Windfall anyways. And they have like 20 blue sources in the deck, so the likelihood of them finding one is fairly high anyways. Lier. I think Lier's fine, although I'd rather have... I think Lier's a keep though. I mean, it's better than a random card. I obviously rather have like Briarbridge Tracker here though. To get the pressure going. But I think Lier is still important to my game plan, to my late game, that I like to keep the card. Definitely not. Could consider. Oh no. No. In Alchemy you have Unexpected Conversion where you can just cycle this away. Would be nice. My opponent could just start making devils. I don't mind that though. I think I actually take the Fading Hope. It's like, look, I have Lier and Duress, so sorcery speed stuff I can just Duress away. Or, yeah, essentially. My opponent goes like for Burn Down. I mean, if they copy Burn Down, but that is a thing they can do with 7 mana, so 2 more turns. And yeah, are they just gonna make devils? Will I respond to that? I probably will. I want to hit land drops, it's super important. Huh, there's only 2 basics. That maybe has to be fixed. Like with environmental sciences, you should have 3 basics usually. I think that's a good number. Interesting. I think I'm gonna Test of Time instead. I'll have another Fading Hope. 1 Hullbreaker, 1 Lier. Okay, good to know. 3 Time Walk. 2 Demon Bolts, Syneclasm, Rebuke, Braid. Okay. So, if they play Shadow Skull, that's a, yeah, okay, they do. So now we, ooh. Yeah, I think we just play Lier now. And Duress. My opponent's Burn Down away. Yeah. If they wouldn't have played Shadow Skull, I maybe would have just played Chariot there. Because Look, they, by the way, they haven't drawn a blue source yet, so if I would have taken the Jwari Disruption, I could have then countered the Windfall, and yeah. Oh no, what a brutal top deck. That's the best card they could have drawn. Damn, that was sick. Well, let's hope they don't have an answer for Lier. What a sick rip. No, come on. Gosh. Wow. Wow, what? Huh. Well, yeah, hindsight is 2020. If I would have taken the Jwari Ruins, they would have still had no blue mana. I mean, because I would have countered the Windfall, of course, with my Test of Diamonds. Nobody could have known, I guess. And now you drew Time Walk as well? Hey! Come on! Unreal! Unreal, what a windfall. Damn. Absolutely unreal. I mean, that's the power of the Izzet decks. Just whips the card draw spell with the Galvanic. As I've described, that is the power. Yeah, it's just really, really strong. Man, okay. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I could have taken the Jwari Ruins. Otherwise, I don't see many misplays I made here. Yeah. I think it was totally good to Test of Talents the Expressive, because that is a card that really gets them going, you know, if they like then find more stuff. They were already tight on blue mana as well. So because they're tight on blue mana, I'm not super afraid of Galvanic Iteration, because it can only copy a certain subset of spells, like Windfall. It's like the only good one it can copy. So opponent like drew the absolute perfect there. Yeah, and I think I played this game fine. Just the Jwari Ruins. If I would have been a little cheesy there, maybe should have done that. So now the question is, do I want to play another Chariot? Or do I want to Bloodchief first? The Hall. Gotta imagine if my opponent's divide by 0 here, that would be really good. No matter what I do. Ugh, headaches. So if I play Chariot, that's still 20. I think I just gotta kill this thing. Okay. Yeah, just praying that my opponent draws blanks for the next 3 turns. Okay, no attacks is a good thing, and this was a good draw too. Okay, that's great. For example, if my opponent would have tried to race me, I mean, I think that might have been a better option, because they can put me to 10, and then if they draw 1 Time Walk, they just win. Okay. So we know about Cinderclasm, but yeah. Okay, nice. Okay. Well, that shuts off some outs, like Hullbreaker Horror maybe. I wonder if I should make Kittens or Clues. I'm attacking for 10 already. I think I'll make a clue here. Get some card drawing going. I have enough pressure. Let's draw one. We're just a little lucky that my opponent doesn't seems to be really flooding out here. Oh, Lier, okay. Okay, do I want to draw another card? Now that I have Lier, I basically have... Okay, cool. Okay, well, whew. Yeah, my opponent had a really good combination to get like back into the game, but I didn't flood it out, unfortunately for them. Yeah, I can crack the clue there to just help me make land drops, because when you have Lier, the only thing you want is lands. Land, mana, 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 mana. Lier wants mana. That's why in Alchemy, Lier and Key to the Archive is such a nice combi. Alright, we're doing the same again. Go blank, Soul Shatter, Siphon Insight, Test of Talents, Wash Away, Infernal Grasp. And then I didn't play this right. I could cut a Lier, it's not that necessary. 23, 25 lands. I'm not cutting a land. Yeah, I'll cut a Lier on the draw for Fading Hope maybe. What was Sedgemoor Witch? Like the less Lier you have... No, I'll just play Lier. Lier's still... I mean, Lier's just a powerhouse in a late game. And my opponent has like Demon Bolt, card like that, so even it could come up that your first Lier dies, and then... Especially because when they have Demon Bolt foretold, it's very difficult to... Yeah, you can't Duress the Demon Bolt, and then... you can only like Test of Talents it, but if your opponent, if you have Lier in play, you can't counter spells anymore, so... Lier could definitely die to just like a foretold Demon Bolt. It's fine to have a backup. But hey, it's going pretty well against Izzet turn so far, huh? I'm happy about that. Yeah, I'm not editing these videos because it takes a little bit too much time, the rendering and everything right now. I might do in the future, but I will definitely have timestamps when the matches starts and so on, so you can just skip if there's like a tiny segment of a little bit of quietness. I hope you don't mind too much. We all know how to use the YouTube play, and then can just like scroll. How do you know? You don't say scroll, just I'm missing the word. You don't like fast forward, right? Is that fast forward, backward? I wonder sometimes who decides what background we get. I guess it's just because Crimson Maw is the latest set, or is it different from format to format? Opponent in the tank on deciding who starts this game. So my opponent just left. Do we have a no-show here? Well, if you're watching the match on YouTube, you can see when the next match starts. And when it like starts immediately after me talking here to you, then you can just skip forward, right? Like, I'm not gonna edit this, but then you can just skip forward to the next chapter, to the next match. So you don't have to sit here like me in reality, where I can't just fast forward. I imagine you could just click a remote and just fast forward a little bit. You know, fast forward that 11-hour flight to South America or whatever. Just don't experience it at all. In video games you can do, in life. I guess we have sleep as a sort of fast forward mechanism. Okay, my opponent was so defeated that they just conceded. the match after that game 1 loss. Yeah, this is a powerful deck. I don't fault them. I don't fault them. Alright. Let's hope for a little bit of a different opponent. Maybe mono green? Mono white? Junt? I've seen people play Junt Treasures in Standard as of late. Waiting for opponent, and we found one already. Nice. Alright, now welcome back to the people that just skipped to this next chapter because of last game. See, now we have a different background. Like, what's going on here? Now it's all Christmassy. Okay, I mean, really hoping I'm playing against Izzet, I guess, again with these Duresses. It's an island. Yes. Put some black. We have all our colors. Beautiful. Oh, okay. Again, opponent with the spell lands, but also has a land of... Like, the opponent has 4 lands, so I'm not going to mana screw my opponent. I'm going to take the sword coming. I think. Because that's the card they're going to foretell this turn, right? And then we take the first. Technically I have Jwari Disruption for first. Technically. But if my opponent is smart... No, I'll just pass. I'll just go for Siphon Insight here. Like, if my opponent plays around my Jwari Disruption by doing first in their end step after I siphoned, it's okay. We're gonna Duress them afterwards, see their hand after they did the draw spell, so it's fine. Not that big of a deal. My opponent could also Jwari Disruption me here, which is also totally fine with me. They're trading their turn and their card for my card out of the graveyard. Now I think I'm just gonna Duress though and play likely my Jwari Disruption, go for Chariot on turn 4. Yeah, I'm taking first. Yeah, and I'm playing Jwari. Nothing changes, but my decision next turn obviously depends on them playing Jwari Disruption here or not. If they do not, we'll just Siphon Insight. I'm not gonna just slam my precious Chariot into the Jwari. All the Liers in the world, huh? That's a little bit too many of them. And reading the manland? No, okay. And we're just hoping that my opponent doesn't draw any card advantage here, or any proactive powerful thing. Happy to have the lands. This would have been a nice play last turn. Alright, sweet. Now we get going. Now we get on the board. Hopefully? No Divide by 0? Okay, sweet. Divide by 0 is really an incredible card. It's really, really good. If I remember correctly, the Izzet games we just played, people didn't really draw Divide by 0 against us, right? This tapping was maybe a little off. Could have left up a black here. I mean, it's all just bluffing things, essentially. opponent could activate Cave, but I can Fading Hope the Cave. Well. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I also get a clue. I'll just sack the clue here. Then I play Lier for the rest of the game. Or I bounce my Chariot and play Chariot again. I already have 8 power on the board, and I have Lier that I can play next turn and so on. I think I'll let it die. Opponent's already on a 2-turn here, 8 power. Sack a clue because I want to make a land drop. Nice. And then we start playing Lier. See how that goes. Double Duress in the bin. Not amazing. Yeah, Lier gets certainly a lot worse in this deck because you have less spells. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack. If they want to activate Cave, I'm happy about that. Then I can Fading Hope. Yeah, a small thing is maybe don't hover over your opponent's cards. Like what I just did. Like you see everything you hover over. That's the unfortunate thing about Arena. You and your opponent, you see what the other person hovers over with their mouse. So because now I hovered over Cave, my opponent kind of knows that I'm aware of Cave. And me attacking with the 2/2 cats is not just me thinking this is a plains or whatever. Because if I don't hover, my opponent might be like, oh, they maybe forget it. They maybe forgot about the Cave and they get to snag a cat here. Because I hovered over it, it's very certain that I know what's going on. How do we tap here? I guess we want to keep up a Fading Hope. Oops, no. We want to keep up Fading Hope. Oops, no, I don't want to sack that. But Duress as well. So black and blue. Okay. Multiple memory delusions. Lots of probably like Teferis, Liers, I would guess. Opponent has likely good amount of card advantage. But we have Test of Talent, we have Duresses and Go Blanks post board. And we have very annoying threats. Maria's Call. Maria's Call does nothing. Maria's Call just puts my opponent dead if they play it. So I'll take the first. And I guess I won't even Fading Hope here if they have Doomscar. Well, I could Fading Hope my own thing, I guess. Oh, that's a good one. That's pretty good. Maybe the best draw. I mean, if they just go 4 Time Walks from now. Like Time Walk, Time Walk, Time Walk. It happened to one person, I'm sure, in the history of Magic. But my opponent's tanking a little bit too long to have another Time Walk here. Block, go to 1. So if they go for Angels, they can jump, and go to 1. Okay. Now they just die. If they don't find anything good. They can't have Doomscar. So they can have a single spot removal maybe. But that wouldn't be enough. So I think we're looking good here. Nice. Upon realizing it too. Okay. Okay. I mean, we bought similarly. Teferi. Bloodchief first technically deals with Teferi, I guess. But Soul Shitter does too. Like, Soul Shitter's definitely in. The question is basically, do we need Infernal Grasp in this matchup, or do we just play Bloodchief first? I do not quite know. Like, we know that my opponent has the Ferry. I don't know if they have Hullbreaker Horror. I don't know if they have Lier. Could they have? We know they have 4/4 Angels, I guess, so Fading Hope is kind of good against that. So perhaps I want to have a Fading Hope in my deck. And I guess Bloodchief first is good against the Angels too, in conjunction with Lier. So maybe we just want to have Bloodchief first. The instant speed factor of Fading Hope is cool though. And again, it protects my own stuff. I could trim a Lier here. But it is the best late game engine I have. Sedgemoor Witch is kind of random to put out every time. It's not per se a bad card. It's kind of good. I just don't know what else I'm able to cut. I think like the rest is better. I think Tracker is a little better than Witch, although both are good. Tracker is just better against Doomscar because it leaves back at least a clue. Alright, let's do it like this. The Planeswalkers can be an issue. Like, the Ferry can be an issue when your opponent gets it out when we don't have a board state. Okay, this hand is good. I like it. Because it just applies pressure and has value. Yeah, I mean, I think this is exactly what we want. Let's do this. Exactly what we want. Just pressure my opponent. Well, yeah. I'd rather have these things than like sit around and consider and do things, because this automatically makes the Ferry worse, which is one of the cards that can maybe snowball a little bit out of control. Huh. Tapped White Source or Time Walk. I mean, I already have 4 lands, right? And the Time Walk is a very powerful card. That's totally fine. Makes me think my opponent does not have Jwari Disruption. To Ferry here would be a little annoying, yeah. But we can respond to a Chariot. This makes me think that they do not have Divide in hand, that they use the sword coming there. Fading Hope, yeah. Like, Fading Hope is the one thing that comes to mind seeing them untap the land. I would always... They do not have Fading Hope though. I would always choose to minus here. I don't know, because like when your opponent doesn't have a board state, you can just safely minus and then next turn you can plus. But now, if you minus this turn, you don't get to untap, first of all, because the plus didn't do anything besides gaining 2 life, apparently. So you don't get that extra mana the next turn. And I might just kill the Teferi here, because of Tracker. Okay, first discard the planes. Need another mana here, okay. I have to be aggressive here. I just have to play to the board. And there's not much thinking to be done. I'll just attack all on Teferi. My opponent has like a Fateful Absence. At least Teferi goes down to 2 loyalty. And we still... Yeah, I mean, you see the power of these green threads. They always leave something behind. And in this case, I even get a clue. An extra clue. Alright. Things are developing. Opponent can cast a Time Walk here, I guess. That would be really bad for me. That would really Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, if my opponent is not on the play this game, I don't think... Like, this game would be really easy for the person who's on the play. Remember, my opponent went Foretell on turn 2. Then I can play a tracker. And so on. Okay, opponent does not have Time Walk. That's very good for me. I love that. Deluge is good too, but at least we can likely kill the Planeswalker here. Hermit, okay. Yeah, you can Hermit my Consider if you want to. I'll give you... Oh, I guess they don't even have blue mana. Ooh, that's a good card. Yeah, I'll just keep that. I do not have Duress right now. Just attack all on Taff. Yeah. There's no way I can attack my opponents. No. No, no, no. I have to do this. They just let it happen. Or they block a 2/2, sure. Now the question is, do we keep up Jwari Disruption? I think so, because it also allows us to just draw a card with a clue if we want to. Yeah. And maybe if we draw like a land, maybe we go for a Time Walk then. My opponent taps low. Okay, yeah, another Teferi, that's fine. It doesn't seem very good here, it's just gonna die. Okay, yeah, go for it. Just a little anticipate effect. Oh wow, damn. 26 life total, but the concession already there. Okay, huh. Opponent could have just memory deluged or something like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the power of Chariot and Tracker. They're so good against in these grindy matchups. They grind very well and they still apply a lot of pressure as well. So that's the reason for Sultai Lier. I hope you liked the video. Let me know. And let me know if you try out the deck yourself. I'm excited to hear from you guys. It's definitely a lot of fun to play, and I might do so on the stream soon as well. So thanks for watching, everybody. See you until next time.